Whoa, the sun's back out. Feels nice, but that's not necessarily a good thing. The wildfires out here have been friggin' wild, man. So many little towns evacuated. The wildfires are running rampant. We got a good rain for a couple hours. Dang, I got my truck dirty. I was driving around looking for a spot to film, and I ended up going on a dirt road. I just had her all cleaned up. Oh well. Whew. New lights in the back. Look at that welder. Look at her. Look at it. That is safety blue. Dang, man. Yep. My rod box, security box, that's been there for a good number of years. But look at these doors. What? Eh? 306 Industrial. Shout out. I haven't worked for them since before Christmas, but I do work for them once in a while, and they're cool. I like them, so I represent them. Never got this door painted yet. One of these days, it's all in good time. Boom, door. New light that was given to me by my friend John. Gave me 2 of these, so that's sweet. All right, let's open up the doors. So there's my good old welding cable reel box enclosure. Opens up like that. I put my, long story short, I put my good old 3/0 leads back to the cable. Had to redo that bolt, had the reels off and clean them up. The door catch for the rear door, the door jamb is just the edge of this post, and then I put these 2 stainless bolts in there for my door catch. And as I previously said in other videos, I got rid of that aluminum torch hose reel and put it right here. Here's my wrap. I was supposed to have a shelf here for my regulators, but right now I just have them right there. But that's fine because I cut this piece. It was in my back shed, this exact size, so I just threw it on. So it sticks out like 3 or 4 inches past, so it creates a nice little roof for my regulators and stuff in there. So that'll do for now. So here is 100 feet of extension cord, and then I just got this little cord made up that says plugged in. That plugs into boop right there. So I just reel off what I want and just plug that plug in there. Simple. This reel, I could have put MPT fittings on these hoses and had this reel live, but I didn't really trust this reel not to leak. So I just got, and just to keep it simple, I got this hose made up with a quick connect I already had and a coupler there. So that just quick connects onto there. And then the other end goes to my flow meter, to my bottles over there. So easy enough. Both of these I got one in a discount bin and one at a pawn shop, and they were missing crank handles. So this one I built this little thing with a rollerblade wheel. And this here I just had to cut this handle shorter so I had room to get my hand behind. And then yeah, welded the nut on there with the stainless rod, rollerblade wheel. So 100 feet of gas hose, boom, ready to go. 100 feet of extension cord, boom, ready to go. Good old 50-foot 1/2-inch air hose reel. And there's my 100 foot of oxyacetylene. Instead of that fancy $1,000 reel that's always seized up, I got this. So a little harder to wrap up, but when I need my torch, I know it's just going to be available. It's always going to work the same no matter what. So there's that, man. New light and my welder. It's not bad of a stretch to reach up to get to these knobs, but I can also reach underneath. I left it open, see? I can reach underneath to grab these if I'm in a hole or something I can't reach up. So I still have pretty good access to that. Good access to my remote plug. Good access to, yeah, so yeah, it all works out pretty good. Nice, the 4 doors really finishes off the look of the truck, you know. Makes her look real nice. Real nice. Had to go and get it dirty though, jeepers. The safety blue just pops. Yes, sir. So all these screws were all rusty in the back. So I took the rusty screws and put them on top and in the front. And I painted them blue. After I put them on, I painted over them in blue. And then I put the non-rusty screws from the top on the back, so that when it rained, all the rust wouldn't bleed down my new paint. So sweet, super sweet. Yeah, bright marker lights, the new protectors on them. Oh yeah, got the back lights cleaned up, got the back end cleaned up. Welder looking fresh. New doors. Got to do this in the front and my tank. There's always lots to do, but there's always lots to do, right? I can't, I got to get back at it, man. I got to get to work. I kept working on this thing all friggin' summer, so. Yeah. There's that paint there. Looking good, all dirty. You know, so. Looking a lot better than she did. Put this on here. This was from the original bed when I got it. I cut it off somewhere else and put it here. And this was supposed to be to hit my gouger on, but it always kind of seemed like a racket. I put this plate here so cords wouldn't get jammed in there and jam my door shut. Yeah, so before my gas hose and my 100 quart hose was here. And then there was always a racket because I got my stingers and ground and stuff in here. And it was just a jumble to try to get stuff out of here. So now this cabinet's super freed up because all that stuff is on reels all over there. So see, it's open from the back still. I could put doors here to match the other side, but that really wouldn't benefit me. I'd rather have this opened for different reasons. So I might put some kind of door just here or something someday, just to block that off so you can't see in there. You know, out of sight, out of mind kind of thing. And that's it. So that's it. The rain's starting again. That's perfect. When I first started this project painting this, it was getting real cold. There was still a bit of snow on the ground. It was getting real cold at night and sunny during the days, so the paint was taking forever to dry. And then all of a sudden it just warmed right up, like record high, like hot summer days. And that resulted in a lot of wildfires, a lot of evacuations. So now it's finally starting to rain. So hopefully things turn around. I was supposed to start a new job today. I was supposed to start a new job last Wednesday. Then I got moved to today, and then for whatever reason, they're not ready for me. So apparently tomorrow I'm starting a new job. It's fabricating and rebuilding mining equipment components, underground mining equipment components, or heavy steel, dual shield flux core welding, you know, for a friend of mine. So that's going to be pretty sweet. Pretty excited to get going on that. And I revamped this deck. I welded a 1/2-inch plate there and drilled and tapped it for my reels. Made this funky little thing for my gas cap to put it at an angle so it could flow in there better. But anyways, here's where my old torch hose reel was. I just put the bolts through it and silicone it just to seal it up from road crap coming off my tires and coming in, because there's a sheet underneath this of like 10 gauge or something that's all warped up and full of holes and crap. So when I revamped this deck, I just threw a whole sheet right over top years ago. So I don't want dirt coming off the tires and getting in between the layers, so I just did that to seal it. This is spaced up 1/2 inch to create clearance back here on this edge. And this enclosure, it's a 1x1 by 1/8 inch angle. I got a frame here for the reel. I got one bolt there, one bolt there, a bolt there, and a bolt there. So it's 4 bolts in total holding this thing on, and it's pretty solid. So that's cool, man. These doors are 14 gauge, 1-inch lip on them, 14 gauge, just flat. This door here, when I got it made up, there used to be a division here because there was 2 doors just like the other side, and I got this door, it's 12 gauge with a 1-inch bend, and I got a slight cross bend bent into it just to keep it rigid because it's so big. Gauge, I got it formed up, I don't know, 6 years ago, 8 years ago. Bullet hinges on the back. Opens up, whoop, reel box. That's a G60, it's a 60 CFM at 140 PSI screw compressor, gas powered. Got an old truck tank on there for my tank. 2 round holes that I blocked off. There used to be the doghouse cabinet in the middle. Used to be enclosed there, and there's 2 tubes. So 2 oxygen bottles laid down and slid in there. I forget if the acetylene was in here. I think it was. There's some spot there was like a square plate welded with acetylene bottle sat. This was in there somewhere. There was a pipe for the bevelers. So it was a pipeliner truck, right? So then in here, the front was enclosed for bottles, and then there was a door right across here a panel and then an open up door and a doghouse there, and I ripped all of that off and just made it all open concept so I can fit my compressor and my bottles and stuff here just to create more open space, because those doghouses just turn into just catch-alls. I took the old doors and the old steel from cutting all that off and turning them into shelves. So you see these shelves were actually the old doors I cut off the other side and repurposed them. Purpose door or a piece off that old doghouse is all steel from this welder. All this, the angles to hold rods. See, I cut, so you see where the old half door, where like 2 doors were. So I cut that all out, got a big door made. Boom, toolbox, rod spots, nice open spot. These back cabinets. Oh, I should have did this while I was out and about. Okay. These back cabinets. I cut this cabinet when I rebuilt it, because I got this deck, these all rotted out. So we re-put these cabinets in, and I made this one at an angle so that because so the gas hose goes back to the fuel tank unobstructedly and gets a good flow down to the tank, so it flows in there good. So it's simply, so this cabinet goes pretty deep, goes deeper than the other one, but then it's got that angle to accommodate for the gas fill. And then this truck's diesel, still got the DPF, so I put this on the front for my DPF tank fill. And there's been lots of mods done to this truck over the years. Like these here used to be, I think, 1.5 inches lower, and they were made of like 1/8, so I cut that out, raised this up higher to create more clearance here, made them in 1/4 inch steel. Here, this is only about maybe 5-6 years old. Look how rusty it is, man. Wacky. Okay, so I made this up, this headache rack right there, bolts on to here. Yeah, the rack bolts here, there and there. Oh, don't want that flying off on the road. Okay, so that rack bolts onto there to make a back rack. And then you see in the front there, I got that rack. Whoop, it's a little inconspicuous rack. Big dog compressor, spare tire. That track there is made for holding my propane tank. I got 2 strips of track there for my bottles. There's my, I need a new buggy whip. A buggy whip, my beacon light for going on to mining sites. Fire extinguisher. So yeah, because this used to be right here. It was closed off to about here, and this was boxed in for the bottles to slide in. And yeah, I ripped it all out. The deck on the old truck, it fit right on no problem, but it was only out to here. And when I went to put it on this new truck, the frame was a bit longer. When I looked at the old truck, the frame was chopped shorter. They had a chunk chopped off the frame, but that was not planned, because this deck fit on perfectly to that chopped frame, because this deck was on a different truck before, and it fit on perfectly. I didn't think nothing of it, and then after I realized the frame was chopped, so it just magically worked out in my old truck. When I put it on here, the frame was too long, so I made this new back bumper, because the other one was all messed up. I made a new back bumper, put it on, and then this piece I just bent it out like this. No, just bumped it out so that there was extra room for the frame. Then I just stitched this piece on, because I got all the light wiring in behind here. So if I got to miss with any wires, I just got to cut the stitches and this whole panel comes off. Full access inside. So that's a mod. I got a 305G welder that fits on here. I can rock a 305G on the back of this if I have to. These bolts are literally just studs welded on. They don't go right through, so that's a fun fact. There's this cabinet. This is a regular square cabinet. So this is my truck air tank that I found in the dump. Haley found it in the dump. Made these straps, and then I could put 20-foot material from here. The rack that goes there. Some weird stuff. Here's the stuff that was here. They had torched that out to get the deck off the old truck before I bought it. Underneath, it's not too heavy duty. It's like formed channels. but I'd welded 3/8 by 2 flat bars there and there. I put these rectangle tubes on. I just welded a sheet of 12 gauge over the crap that was there. Put these tubes on, and that tube connects to the main cross member here that I have beefed up, and the main cross member here that I have beefed up. And I plug welded this plate. The front of this plate's plug welded down to that cross member, and then from there to there. So that's structured solid. So this part doesn't really matter. I have the main structure welded in solid there and there. That's plug welded down. 3/8 plate in the back. Yeah, I didn't organize this for this video. I'm just winging it. But the inside, I have wooden cabinets on both sides. Tools on the inside. And then there, shelf. See, inside shelves. Down there is for paperwork, office stuff is supposed to be, and clothing. Shelf in the middle. Rig. It's overgone quite a few changes since I've had it. I've revamped it probably at least 3 times, at least. You know, you always do little mods and changes to it. It's evolving. This deck's been on at least 2 trucks before I bought it. It's been on 2 of my trucks. This deck's been on at least 4 trucks. Hems knows how old it is, but it's just a big chunk of steel, man. So just keep rebuilding her, reviving it, revamping it, and it works. Right on, guys. We'll see ya.